Hello everyone, my name is Can Opener Dude, and I'm here with what looks to be the new changes for the Marksmen coming to Season 6. Now I just want to stress here, this is all on the PBE, well this is on the dev corner, but the actual changes are going to be on the PBE boards for now, which means they will be going on the PBE first, which means, again, like everything, it's subject to change. You can change at any time. These aren't the final numbers. But with that in mind, let's jump in here with this first video, which is going to be a brief overview of the changes, as well as the item changes that have been revealed so far. Alright, so as you can see here, Riot Scruffy has given us basically a high-level view of each of the champions they're changing for the Marksman update. So let's take a look here. So first up is Caitlyn. Now, it looks like the feel here is to try and make Caitlyn more of like a long-range actual snipey champion. They're trying to make her more of like a sit back and try and basically, like they say, control a zone. Zone control marksman, as is said. So there's a new playfield with the headshot combos. So trap and E trigger a guaranteed headshot on the target. So that means 90 caliber net is her E, obviously. So that means 90 caliber net. And the traps now mean that if you hit them while they're under the effect of those, that means an automatic headshot, which is nice. In addition to that, it looks like the traps are going to be on a charge system. So that's going to be nice, which means you don't have to be just confined to 3. It looks like you can try and make more creative use of the traps. Next up is Misfortune. So it looks like we're going to be seeing her alt scalings way better, as they put it, and can crit, which is huge. That's going to definitely increase her power for that long AoE burst that she already has. And then we get what they're coining a love tap passive that gives bonus damage when swapping targets, which works well with her Q, obviously. So this is going to be interesting. It looks like they're trying to give her more of like an AoE wombo kind of person. So you use her ult, you get lots of damage off, and then you just kind of go in and plink individual people with 1 or 2 auto attacks, switch to another person, 1 or 2 auto attacks, kind of like that. So that's what I'm looking at with this. She's going to be more of like a team fight oriented kind of attack people as opportunity arise kind of champion. Kog'Maw, they're literally making him into artillery. So it looks like his W is going to be the biggest change, which it basically breaks the attack speed cap. We'll go into a bit more detail when we actually talk about him, about how that's going to work. But it looks like it doubles all attack speed, which basically means he can go up to 5 attacks per second, which is going to be ridiculous. And so they're basically going to make him basically a literally a living artillery, living up to his name, where he's just going to shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and just annihilate things. But from what I understand, they're also going to probably nerf his survivability as well. So he's going to literally need to be complete backlane and just pulling away at everyone from as far away as possible. Now, Corki, it looks like they're remaking him to be as much of the magic damage, quote-unquote, marksman as possible. So that means that all of his abilities will now do magic damage, and his passive will also do magic damage instead of true damage. What that means as a player is that he's going to be the champion you're going to want to go to if you think your opponent is going to itemize into armor. Or if your team is very heavy physical damage, then you can choose Corki as the magic damage marksman and get a good balance there. In addition, he does have one of those mechanics that Reddit hates so much, and that it looks like it's called special delivery, and every 5 or so minutes, subject to change of course, he's going to get special set of bombs that allow him to do special things. And it looks like it's going to affect his W, his Valkyrie. So I'm expecting, half-range Valkyries that let you just fly over the map, carpeting everything in bombs or something like that. So we're going to have to see how that works out. Quinn is going to become someone with an identity, hopefully. Looks like they're going to model her around being mobile and roaming. Utility focus spell on R, so 0 cooldown, and gives her quote-unquote crazy out-of-combat speed to quickly move around the map, not used for assassination anymore. So think of this more like the picture, which I can actually show you here. this picture here that actually got the discussion started, we can see that Valor just picks up Quinn and carries her around. So what we're thinking is that means that she's just going to call Valor in. Valor's going to swoop down, pick her up, and carry her where she needs to go. So instead of it being a, turn into a melee bird, jump on them, attack them, and then tag team to get the extra damage, it's going to be like, I need to go over there, you go over there, and then you turn back in and be a marksman there when you get there. And finally, Graves. This is the most interesting one in my honest opinion, even though we've got someone who already breaks the attack speed cap and Quinn actually getting an identity. I think Graves is going to be the most interesting because they said they're going to make, quote, his shotgun a shotgun. So his basic attacks fire in a cone. So that means to me that we're actually finally going to be able to see an actual uniqueness to auto attacks that we have not seen yet. My brain seems to be focused on the idea that his auto attacks are going to work similar to Titanic Hydra. So that means that he'll be the only ranged person with a Titanic Hydra type ability. He'll be excellent at wave clear, while also being, this kind of up-close AoE kind of dude. And his Q is going to be reworked, obviously. So obviously, if Buckshot's going to be his auto attacks, then they're going to want to rework his Q into something else. So I'm hoping for something that is more in line with maybe, straight up damage or straight up tankiness. So maybe his Q will be a reworked version of his passive if his passive is going to be dealing with his auto attacks. We don't know yet. Graves is actually the only champion who does not have a singular page devoted for him on the PB forums as of the making of this video. So with that done, let's take a look here at the item changes that we have so far. So far they're talking about, looks like most of the standard ADC items plus a few new ones. So let's take a look here and see. Infinity Edge is slightly weaker. They said they've shifted its power elsewhere, so it's less automatic and add cooler things. So what that says to me is that they're trying to give it more utility instead of just straight up damage. Essence Reaver scales its CDR off your critical strike chance. So that means that they're really trying to push Essence Reaver here. And I think that's going to be interesting. So it looks like you're going to buy it when you get Crit Strike. So it looks like it might be an item that wants to be a pickup for champions like the new Misfortune, that's going to be doing lots of auto attacking but also using her abilities very well, so you can get that CDR. Phantom Dancer is looking like it's going to get some bonus movement speed when you're near enemies, and you take less damage from the last champion you hit. Isolate and kill people. So that's looking like it's going to be focused towards any of the marksmen that are good at dueling. So I'm looking at Graves right now is what Phantom Dancer is going to be focusing more towards. Oh, and of course Quinn with her new ultimate. Rapid Fire Cannon. This is a completely new item. It charges up like Shiv, but it fires like a long-range attack after charging up. And a fiery hit at the end, as they say. So that's going to be interesting. An attack that actually increases your range would be amazing on tower siegers like Tristana and Caitlyn. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work on those in addition to the rest of them. Shiv does more damage versus minions. It's basically just cementing it more as the Ravenous/Titanic Hydra of the Marksmen. Put that on Graves and he just becomes a split-pushing machine and kills everything. Hurricane now crits and bolts can crit. This is important. This is very, very, very important for high-speed auto-attack champions like Callista, who already buys Runan's Hurricane. She's one of the few marksmen that really dedicate to it. So Hurricane's now going to become even better on her, and it's also going to become very good on champions, maybe like Vayne, but definitely on AD Kennen, and also probably on some of the other champions like Tristana, and maybe the new Caitlyn as well. Executioner's Calling is back. They say it's going to be a bit different, and it builds into something new. We don't know yet, but it looks like it's going to be really cool, and I'm happy to have Executioner's Calling back. Bringing items back is always a good thing. Last Whisper is now a component, so maybe Executioner's Calling, Last Whisper build together into something. We really don't know yet, but that would be a mondo expensive item, so it's going to be interesting to see. Giant Slayer. Hearth's health dudes. So we already have that item kind of in Blade of the Ruined King. Blade of the Ruined King is seen as the health shredding item for ADCs. So it's interesting that they're going to be introducing another one. Perhaps this one will be specifically targeted at taking down the Juggernauts. Maybe it'll be used against healing champions. We really don't know yet, but that's what I'm thinking. Maybe healing debuffs in addition to maybe dealing percentage health like Blade of the Ruined King does. Merc Scimitar has lifesteal. Alright, so maybe they're trying to put in Mercurial Scimitar in the same space as Bloodthirster so that you have a choice. You either get the shield for added tankiness or Mercurial's Quicksilver active for extra escapes, so you can kind of have a dichotomy there. Death's Dance. It has something like lifesteal, but better, and it also delays damage. So something better than lifesteal. I don't know what that means. I have no way of kind of speculating about that, but it sounds awesome. And delays damage, which is interesting. Maybe what that means is that if you're auto-attacking someone, you can have Tryndamere's passive. You can't drop below 1 HP. They seem to be doing that. They did it with Tryndamere. Now they did it with Kindred recently. Maybe putting Death's Dance on Kindred means you get 2 chances to not drop below 1 health when you're auto-attacking things. That would be very interesting. And they say tons of changes all over the place. This is just some of the Marks targeted ones. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of changes coming this preseason with items. I expect to see a bunch of numbers changes. I expect to see a lot of things put into place specifically to counter the Juggernauts and Gangplank type champions like Fiora in addition to Gangplank. I'm looking to see that they're trying to make Marksmen into a space where they can play against tanky champions like the Juggernauts and like straight up tanks and still feel like they're having an influence. So that's all we have right now as far as the overview goes. Like you can see here, we have pages on Quinn, Kog'Maw, Caitlyn, Corki, and Miss Fortune. So we don't know anything. We don't know anything at all about Graves yet, but we do know about the other 5. So hopefully we get a Graves thread soon. But what I'm going to be doing is over the next couple of videos, I'll be doing videos of each of these champions in turn over the next couple of days. So we'll be starting tomorrow with Quinn and Kog'Maw, and probably Caitlyn, and then hopefully by then Graves will be out, so then on Friday I can do Corki, Miss Fortune, and Graves for you guys. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching, and this is TCA Can Opener Dude for Terracotta Army. Have a good night.